Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy Nick Dob, back with another banger. Of course, today we're going to be taking a look at gold, breaking it down, taking a look at a couple setups that we took last week and a couple days ago, actually. I'm also going to be taking a look at our payout for the week. It's been week 2, now funded with funding pips, and our payout is looking around 2K after the split. Not too bad for a week's worth of trading. Let's get right into it. So here on the screen, you can see this is the funding pips dashboard. This is the master account, the one we've been making the payouts on. I did actually message the support to let them know that my account isn't being updated on some aspects. Like my next payout says August 11th, but it's August 19th. That's a little weird. A couple other things didn't update on here, but of course that isn't really affecting my payout, so I'm not too concerned. Like I said, the first payout that we did was for 1,000 from August 12th, and ever since we've been back with funding pips, it's been pretty quick payouts, as I said in the recent video. And as you see here, I have also requested my payout again. This one is going for 2,000. So far, it's been about 3 hours. You usually receive your payment within the 8-hour window. So I haven't really had it take any longer than that. But moving on into the charts. All right, y'all. Looking at the charts here, this is going to be gold on the 5 minutes back on August 6th. This was one of the trades that I caught out on the Discord. You can see right here, we were buying gold around 11:20. That marks the spot right around here. So this was the candle that we pretty much bought gold on. Why did we buy gold here? Is because we seen a clean A.M.D, accumulation, manipulation, displacement. Once you see these 3 things happen during 2 or more sessions, you can pretty much predict how the market is going to go. Sometimes it even happens by the days of the week. Me wanting to get in and out of the market as quick as possible, I do use a strategy based on the sessions. So you can see here what I have on my screen. Pretty much this purple back here will be my New York session. This orange will be Asia session. And then I have the green, which will be my London session. During these sessions, A.M.D happens. You will see accumulation happens. Through, actually, this is all of New York accumulated, right? Until what? This support here was then manipulated. Once manipulation happened in the market, or a simple fake out, as people call it, you can expect the market to create that opposite move from where it manipulated. And in this case, because we manipulated the downside, we've seen bullish candles. And you can see these levels here. When price make this little gap here, you can see how price makes these gaps and retest it and continue. And then it makes these another gap here. And what does it do? It continues. So when I got in here, I'm thinking accumulation, manipulation, displacement, A.M.D. After this displacement here, I thought the market went back into a minor accumulation phase, and we broke structure here. So I thought this would be the initial fake out, the initial manipulation. Instead, the price continued to accumulate into London session, and then during London session, you can see price manipulated. After manipulating, it created a fair value gap, the gap in between these candles, and started to displace. Once we got back above previous resistance, we started to displace again. So once the market keeps doing these accumulation, manipulation, displacement, it's very easy to read the market and tell where it's going to go, especially when it does it in between or early into the session. Use this into your trading strategy. Reading the market becomes just that easier. We did end up taking this trade, and we did end up hitting TP of 150 pips all the way up to 33.90, and I do believe stop loss was literally at 71. So wow, I didn't even notice how close we got to hitting stop loss before we made the real manipulation into displacement. But yeah, this was the trade setup here, and this is the risk to reward that we did here. A 2.3 R, not too bad. And like I said, this was in a session's worth of trading, very quick. This happened within 1 to 2 hours of trading, and we're in and we're out. Let me show you guys one more example. So for the next setup here, you can see this trade setup was a stop loss break even, but it did still end up going the direction. It's just I like to typically move my stop loss in profit as soon as I get up a certain amount of pips. So if the market does come back down, it will always keep me in profit. So let's look at this trade here. This was on August 13th. We called this out. This was around 240. We took the trade. Our entry was 3354 right here. So you can see I seen the market accumulated into London session here, and we had that clean manipulation into displacement. I was waiting for, like I told y'all before, I was waiting for a nice retest into this displacement here, but we never really got the retest. So I ended up seeing this setup here, this four candle pattern, and I said if we can break below this, we're gonna get a retest. Unfortunately, we never broke below this 4 candle pattern, and we had that nice blue candle right here that showed up. So once I seen another red candle come 50% of this blue candle, I took my entry here, and we did end up going up about 60 pips into profit, and that's when I moved my stop loss into profit 30 pips. So like I said, in case the market does tank back down like it did here, I would still come out 30 pips in profit instead of it coming down to my stop loss. So once I moved my stop loss into profit and it stopped me out here, price did manipulate a little, just a little bit lower than our actual entry, and continued to start displacing to the upside. This TP initially was 74. 74 was just barely hit during New York session, 20 pips away here. So like I said, if price managed to continue to displace before the end of the session, we probably could have made it to 34. But like I said, once the session is coming to a close, you can expect the market to just start being stagnant, only because people are, of course, closing their positions. And if we're closing our buys coming to the end of our session, you can expect the sellers to start having that bearish pressure. Pretty simple Forex common sense, guys. Like I said, you definitely want to learn price action, learn how to read candles, understand A.M.D, accumulation, manipulation, displacement. That's the easiest form of reading the market. It's just knowing when to get in. When do we see the manipulation, and if we are going to displace. That's pretty much all I got for y'all today. I know this is gonna be a little longer video, more of a understanding the markets. The real simple concept here. I appreciate everybody who watches till the end of these videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.